Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater's Guitars and Gear. This time out, a flexible, versatile flanger from Strymon. Let's get started. Today we're checking out the Orbit flanger pedal from Strymon. Now this is a very versatile pedal that's capable of a wide variety of different effects, lots of different textures. There are a ton of great sounds in this pedal. Let's take a look at how it works. Flanging is created by combining a dry signal along with a delayed version of that signal. We use very short delay times, usually less than 20 milliseconds, and you modulate that delay time so it's constantly increasing and decreasing. That creates that cyclical effect. Now the magic in the effect is how you combine those two signals together. And the Orbit allows you a lot of different flexibility in shaping that and creating a wide variety of different flanger tones. Given how versatile it is, the Orbit is actually a very simple pedal to operate. To begin, we have the manual control. This sets the delay time for the flanger from short to long delays, and we'll see how that affects the tone later when we're listening to some of the examples. At the top of the pedal, we have our LFO section, which creates our modulation. This is the speed of the modulation or the cyclical effect. This is the depth or the width of that effect. The 3-position LFO switch gives us different options for shaping that LFO operation. The feedback switch is a 3-position switch that combines with the regeneration control. Now this sets how much of the signal is cycling back to the input of the device to increase the strength of the flanging effect. The 3-position switch allows it to shape that regeneration. Finally, we have the mix control. Now you don't often find a mix control on a flanger, but it's a useful control to have because it allows you to adjust the intensity of the effect. Finally, we have the favorite switch, which allows us to save one preset for the settings on the front panel. For connections, we have a 1/4-inch input, and that's either mono or stereo. We also have left and right outputs for either mono or stereo operation. And finally, we have an expression pedal input. You can connect an expression pedal to this jack and control the setting of any single knob on the front panel. Today I'll be playing through an Artist 15 tube amplifier from Blackstar, and I'm playing a custom 24 guitar from PRS. Here's our dry tone with the bridge pickup. And our neck pickup. We have a wide range of different flanging textures available to us. Let's listen to some examples. I'm going to set things up for a pretty straight ahead flanger sound. We'll turn the regeneration up so we're getting a pretty intense effect. The mix control sets the intensity of the effect from all dry to a blend of wet and dry to the most intense effect. The regeneration control sets how much of the signal is being routed back into the input of the flanger, which increases the strength of the effect. Now if we turn that down, say to 9 o'clock, we get a more subtle flanging effect. At 12 o'clock, we get more regeneration or feedback. At 3 o'clock, and finally all the way up. You can hear with regeneration turned all the way up, we're getting a lot of resonance. Now we'll listen to the effect of the manual control, which sets our delay time. What you're going to hear is it changes the frequency of the effect overall. So if we turn the manual control all the way down, we have a very short delay time. If we turn it up to about 10 o'clock, $2 o'clock, and all the way up, which is our longest delay setting. So you can almost think of that manual control as a range control, which affects where that flanging effect is taking place in the frequency spectrum. Speed affects how fast our LFO oscillator is operating, from slow to more traditional flanging sounds. Faster oscillation. And extremely fast oscillation. Let's set that back to about 12 o'clock. The width control sets the depth of the oscillation, so we'll turn that all the way down. 9 o'clock. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and all the way up. So just by exploring the manual control, the speed control, and the width control, you have a lot of different textures to choose from. Now let's check out what those two 3-position switches do to our flanging effect. We'll begin with the LFO switch. Let's set our speed to 12 o'clock, our width to about 12 o'clock. We'll set our manual to about 2 o'clock, and we'll leave regeneration at about 3 o'clock with the mix all the way up. The first setting for the LFO switch is logarithmic, or log, and this creates a very smooth effect. Linear, which is the second setting, speeds that effect up. Our final setting is through 0. This setting recreates the sound of 2 tape machines being used in the studio to create the actual flanging effect. Originally, you used 2 tape machines that were set up at the same speed. You'd slow one down, that would create a flanging effect. Then you would slow the other down so it would catch up. Where those 2 pass each other is the through 0 point. This setting recreates that. You can hear that's different from linear and logarithmic. So with those 3 different LFO settings, we had a great deal of flexibility to the sounds you can create with the Orbit. Now we'll look at the feedback switch. What this switch does is determine how the dry signal and the delay signal are combined together. When we're in the positive setting, the 2 signals are added together in polarity, or in phase. When we're in negative, the delayed signal is subtracted from the dry signal. This is a little more hollow tone, a little more watery sounding than positive flanging. So let's go back to positive flanging. Negative flanging. And our final setting is plus and minus, which combines characteristics of both types, both positive and negative. So with the LFO switch, the feedback switch, our 4 flange controls, and our mix control, we have a very flexible flanger here that can recreate everything from vintage flange sounds to more modern sounds to new innovative tones. You can also use the Orbit to create chorus type sounds. Chorusing is basically the same thing as flanging, but we're using longer delay times and no regeneration. If a flanger is 20 milliseconds and below, a chorus typically is 20 to 50 milliseconds in delay time. So let's turn our manual up, we'll turn our regeneration down, set our mix control back up to about 11 o'clock, and we'll set our speed, our depth, go to linear, and we'll go to positive. It's a great chorusing tone, but you can hear the effects of changing that feedback control even when we're doing a subtle effect like this. So here we are in positive flanging. Switch to negative. It's a richer sound, but it doesn't have the sparkle that positive flanging does. Now we'll do plus minus. So if you're looking for not only a versatile flanger, but also a flexible chorus effect, the Orbit can do both of those for you. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Strymon Orbit. It's a great flanger that's capable of a wide variety of different sounds. Thanks for joining me for Sweetwater's Guitars and Gear. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll have more guitars, more amps, more effects, and we'll be making lots of music. I'm Mitch Gallagher.
Thank you.